What's up Saab fans around the world, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are definitely going to fix the oil pressure that I had in the last video. During the week I have made some progress, thanks a lot to very good friends, Joel Artisan amongst others. But there are some good tips in this video, so don't skip by. And we will start right away. So starting off with this misery of a car. This is truly like a hate-love relationship. I have never get to driven the car like for real. But at least it's back together. I almost had the oil pressure, but when I went out for a drive, as you saw in the last video, when it gets really hot, it disappears. So thanks to you, I made a modification, and this is something that you all could do if you have a 9.5 or 9.3. What I did was I have this huge ducting, or what you call it, for the crankcase ventilation. So this is similar to that really thin pipe that you have on the original 9.5s that goes to the turbo piping. So there is two lines going into the crankcase ventilation. A little bit better light right now. So the one to the left right here, not the one to the right, to the left. And the outside of it is actually, it looks pretty beefy. It's like 15 millimeters or something like that. I don't know exactly, but if you look inside of the hole, it's just like a 4 or 5 millimeter hole. So it's like impossible to get as much air sucked out of it as possible. And there is also information that there has been like an old bulletin from Saab themselves that you should drill up this hole. And right now I drilled up the hole to 12 millimeters. So from 4 or 5 millimeters to 12. And I have this ducting right here. This is internally 20 millimeters. So it's sucking a lot of air from the head, and at the same time I made these block-offs. Normally you will have a small little line right here with the non-return valve, which I have over here. It looks like this. This is very common. And this mod right here with the non-return valve, I don't recommend that everyone does. It has to be on a specific model. So for me, I think the special thing is that I have the mass flow meter on the pressure side. So this is not for everyone, but drill up this hole will give you great benefits. So when I did this, I got like cold to medium oil pressure of like 1.6 bars. It raised like immediately, and it looked amazing. I was so happy, and I thought that everything was solved. But when I took it for a drive, once again when it got really hot, the pressure just disappeared. So that is why I have taken out the oil pans. So here is just a comparison. Here is the stock oil pan from a Saab 9000. The first version of my oil pan, which I ran for a while. And this is actually kind of good. So this uses the stock oil pickup. Then it has just been enlonged with I think the piping is 20 millimeter outside, and the inside is like 17, so it has the same size as the stock. And in this case I made the piping like this, so it goes up through the flange and then it's seated with an O-ring, so that should seal around the oil pump, and this is screwed down so it's okay flow. So I think this worked actually, but when I renovated the engine and redid everything, I built a new oil pan with the thicker piping, so it has the same diameter here, but the piping is much thicker if you have them side by side. And I know a lot of people from the last video said go back to the stock piping, and this actually did work, kind of. I don't think it's the diameter of the piping that's the biggest issue. I think the fitting of the pipe is the big issue right here, because as you can see I have two screws that goes from underneath, and then I have sealed off the piping inside of here. Now you cannot see it very good, but inside here I have some sealant and it's pressed up against this. And I think at some point when it gets really hot, because you know metal expands and shrinks down depending on if it's cold or if it's heated up. So when this is really heated up and the oil is really thin, I'm pretty sure that it's leaking inside of here. So the idea to save all of this right now and still have an oil piping that we could remove is to go back to basics, to build it more or less exactly as it was from factory, because the Saab engineers are no stupid people. They did everything with a purpose, and I think that the best way to fit an oil pickup is to use the stock O-ring together with the pipings that you could fit inside of the bend, and it will seal off at all times, no matter if it's heated up or if it's cold. The O-ring will always seal. So I will do it like this. I will use this piping, the original piping, I will cut it off and I will extend it with some piping that it's the same diameter as the stock piping. And I have got a friend that made this for me. So this is to mimic the fitting inside of the stock pan, where you put the piping and the O-ring, and this is exactly the same. Exact same measurements. So I will weld this on to a piping, then I could just insert the pickup pipe and it will be exactly as a stock, except that it will be a rear sump. And I have posted this question in a forum, Saab RWD, and a lot of people running Saab engines as a rear wheel drive setup, and most of them has the stock diameter. Some have even longer piping than I have, and it still works. So I'm pretty sure that this will work also. So we will do this modification today, install it back on the car, and just hope that this fixes this once and for all. It would also be a good idea to machine the flange so you know that it's 100% flat, but that is nothing that we will do right now, because as you can see right here, it has sealed off the surface just perfectly. So really no need for it right now. Otherwise I know that when you weld into metal it could warp a lot, so but in this case I have had it bolted down all the time. So we will give it a try and hope for the best. So this is like the cooking shows. New oil pickup already done. Original sizing and with the O-ring in the top. So now we just push it in and give it a little squeeze, and it fits just perfect. Won't go anywhere. You can just like flip it upside down, and of course it will be tightened down here, but here it has room to flex. Everything is flat, the surface is perfect. So what we are going to do right now is that I noticed that the flange is definitely not 100% flat. I will show you. If you look right here, you can see there is a small little gap. So I can push it down. Now this wooden board is not the best reference to see flatness, but no matter what, if I turn it backwards, upwards, I still get this gap in the front, and this is where the oil pump sits. So this should definitely be machined. So we will have it 100% flat, no question about it. So the oil pan is good to go so far, but the first test start will have to wait just a little bit. But this came out really good. And now I have the original sizing, not the big thick pipe, and it fits really nice compared to this one. So this design in combination with not 100% flat oil pan could definitely be the cause of the drop of oil pressure, because if you have a gap right here, it might be sealed all the way like it was before, so it won't leak any oil, but it will start to suck air together with the oil, and that is definitely not good. And just like that, we are back, and we are back in business. So massive thanks to my friend Oscar who pulled this out. So the flange on the oil pan is 100% flat. It has been machined. So now we got everything done. It is perfectly machined. The bend right here is welded in, and he also made this happen. So the attachment for the oil pickup and everything is just super right now. So now we're going to install the oil pickup, reinstall the splash guard, and mount it up in the car. Car is back together once again, and the oil pan is installed. Everything has dried up overnight, and I have just filled up with the oil. So now it's just to crank the engine and just hope for the best. If this doesn't fix it, then I don't know what would. This is scary. Track of the temperature of the engine and of course the pressure. took it for a short little drive outside. It's up to temperature and now it holds 0.9 bar. So I guess it's quite okay. On dipping down once again. So right now what do we have? Like 0.75. So that didn't go so well either. So right now I have touched upon everything on the car that is in some way connected to the oil pressure, and I have also touched upon stuff that is not directly connected to the oil pressure but still could affect it in some way, and I have gotten it to be better, but it's still not good and it still drops when it's super hot. So something, I don't know what, but I have one last little clue, and a few of you have mentioned it before. And I have an old T7 block down here under all the garbage, and I have disassembled these little fellas right here. They supply oil for the pistons to keep them cool down while the engine is running, and inside of these there are like small little springs and stuff. So I will take these from my working T7 block and I will exchange them, because the ones that are in this block, the block when I got it, it was not assembled in a car, and I don't really know the history of this block. So it could be, the chances are very small, but it could be that the engine that I got had not been running for quite some time, and there could be like a spring or something that is seized inside of this, because it's like a spring and then a little ball that will also regulate that the oil gets out. But if that is stuck in some way, I guess it could just feed oil through them all the time. But it's a long shot, but it's the last one I got. So here we have the oil pan out once again. As I said before, I'm getting pretty fast at disassembling this. And here are the old ones that I'm going to exchange, or the new ones that I will replace them with. And I took a few of these apart, and this is what they look like on the inside. It's like a banjo bolt that you could split apart, and then there's a metal ball and a spring, and in one of these, I don't know if it really was missing, because I fumbled a little bit when I disassembled it, but I didn't find the ball. And if you don't have a ball in it, it will just leak through. And in one of them, the ball was seized. It was like stuck. And in another of them, it went out smooth. So this could definitely be part of the cause. The problem right now is the one closest to the gearbox I can't access because the crankshaft is in the way, or like the metal ring that reads on the crank position sensor even. But I will change 3 of them and really hope for the best, because this didn't look too good. So let's hope this works better. But everything is back together on the car, and the only thing right now that is like not as the stock setup is the oil feeds. So mine goes straight out from the block, 2 AN10 lines. One goes to the oil cooler, then it goes up to the oil filter and returns it back into the block. And on the original oil filter holder, before it goes to the oil cooler, you have a thermostat. So when the oil is cool, it will return it directly into the engine. And when it gets hot, it opens up and takes it through the oil cooler. But I only have problems when the oil is really hot, not when it's cold. So this should not be the issue. But I start to think that it might be the issue either way. You might have to have a thermostat outside of the engine. But I really don't know. But that could be one issue as well. But now we will start again. I have filled up the oil, and as I said, I have changed the oil nozzles. So we will see if it makes a difference or not. And still above 2 bars, so this looks very promising, but I have seen it before and it's going down. Let the car idle for I don't know what, 10 minutes, and it's definitely up to temperature, and we still have an oil pressure of 1.3, so it looks very promising. But the ultimate test right now is to take it out and take it for a short drive, because that's really when things start to happen. So we will give it a go and see how it acts up outside on the road. So far it looks pretty stable. When I come to a stop it dips down a little bit, but as soon as I let it be, it recovers. And so far at hot it has been 1.1 bar at idle, so if that's the case then I'm extremely very happy. So we'll just hope for the best and have a nice little Thursday drive here and just crossing my fingers and hoping that everything will work. But the engine is definitely hot right now, and still it seems to be working. And we have a good working pressure. It's like slightly above 2 bar, and I have 2000 RPM, so that is quite okay, I would say. So right now the car is definitely up to temperature, and we still got like 0.85 bars of oil pressure, and it's not warning. So this makes me extremely happy. This is like getting a birthday present almost. I have been struggling for years with this, and it seems to be working. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was like a roller coaster, back and forth all the time. And when I started recording this like a week ago, I did not know how things would end up or how they will turn out. So I would just go with the flow. If you have stayed to the end of the video, now you know why. Shit has been tough, really tough. To get everything going, to solve everything, and when you finally find that what have caused the issue all the time is a small little piece, and it was the last piece that I checked. They are not prone to fail. They seem to never do it, but in this case they have done that. And I think the reason is because when I got the block, I cleaned the block with, like, rinse it with water, and it has been for machining for the block, and it has been sitting around for quite some time before I did the first start of the engine. So these balls inside of the nozzles could probably seize if you have water into them, so be careful out there. It's lessons learned. And I mean, there is so much fun things ahead. It has been a struggle to get this through inspection. So right now, fingers crossed, I have oil pressure, the car is not leaking. So I will try to get a time for the registration as soon as possible. And then the fun could begin. I have a clutch pack upgrade for the differential, and I have a ton of fun stuff planned. And the car is raised up like a monster truck right now. That's because of the inspection, so it could roll up through the ramps without any issues. So once that is done, the car will be lowered. I will put on the full flow exhaust again, and we could finally start to tune the car and see what maximum we could pull out of it. So it will be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment if you have any questions. Please subscribe to the channel, it means a lot to me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.